guys, it's Diane Hockman. How are you doing? January, and everybody's jacked up. And I've been, I had a little time today, and I was poking around YouTube and over on Facebook. And truthfully, I don't spend a ton of time there. I use those as promotion vehicles. But sometimes I have a few minutes and I start looking. And I got to tell you, sometimes I see stuff and it just makes me giggle. Everybody's talking about the new year and they're all jacked and what the new trends are for the new year. And I smile. See, guys, what you don't know about me, and if we haven't met yet, go check out some of my other stuff and take a look around. But those of you that know me and know I've been around the industry for 9 years and so on, and I've been, pretty heavily on the net for the past 2, although I've been using the internet for a long time, is I'm a digital dork, okay, a dorkette. I don't have a lot of technical skills. I'm certainly not a HTML programmer. I don't know how to build sites. I don't know how to do a lot of stuff. But what I learned really quickly is that if you get in on a trend early and you're one of the first people there, having all that technical know-how doesn't matter. So I joke and I call it hits and clicks and analytics and SEO and all this other stuff. I don't know nothing about it, truthfully. A little bit, enough. But what I know is if you get somewhere first and the field is wide open, it's easy to run down and get a touchdown. Once there's a whole bunch of people playing out on the field and you got to get by them, it's a lot more complicated. So I've always tuned into what's coming up, not what's going on right now. So Twitter is the hottest ticket on the internet right now, and they're even talking about it on, CNBC and all the, MSNBC and stuff. But guys, this is nothing new. It is not new at all. And I want to show you guys a little documentation. Here's a site called mytweet16.com, and if you put in your username, you'll find the first 16 posts that you ever made to Twitter. If I scroll down, look at that. August 31st, 2007. So I've been using Twitter for a year and a half. Now, take a look at this and you'll see August 31st, and then I didn't come back until October because I didn't really understand how it worked and didn't know what it was. I had heard word that this was going to be the new thing. Left it alone. Came back in October, did one tweet, took off again. And then you'll notice that December I start picking up and I keep going. And if you look at the tweets, in the posts, it'll make you giggle because this is what a lot of people do now when they're brand new to Twitter. They come on and they tell you if they're washing their socks or, grooming their eyebrows or something. I'm telling you who I'm talking to and what I'm learning, and it's pretty silly. And of course, technique on Twitter is very specific and etc. But my group and my gang, we've been on Twitter for ages. And it is not new, and it is not, the rage. What it is it's what's really popular now. But here's the deal. If you spend a lot of time and you try to learn what's hot now, by the time you learn it, the trend's over. And now you're sitting there with a skill that's outdated. You're sitting there with a skill about how to build something or do something that is worthless tomorrow. So I'm not saying don't use Twitter, gang, and not to be controversial, because Twitter is all the rage and you should be using it, but I want to teach you guys a serious lesson about looking forward, especially if you're not like me and not the most technical. So let's look at the next example. Here's a site, you see this thing, and it's called Utters, and it's now called Utterly.com. This was a site that's still around today and quite popular today, and this was the same thing as Twitter, but instead of typing out a message, you would call a phone number and leave an audio message. Now these days Utterly takes audio, video, all kinds of stuff. It's very multimedia, and I want to show you, here's a letter I just got over the weekend, myself and my colleague Julie got from Chris Hanaka over at Utterly, asking us to pilot one of their new things. And it says, "We've witnessed the success you both have achieved using social media to promote your service offerings since joining our community in November '07, and would now like to help promote you as well while gathering valuable feedback on our new Utterly group calling feature." So we've been there since November, but get this, guys, here's what I want to make sure you're seeing. What we do is something I call chain reaction marketing. Chain reaction marketing. And that's where we have our social media sites all interwoven and linked together so that you can take one action and it shows up all over the place. These posts that I did would show up on about 20 different social media sites. So I take one action that takes me 3 minutes. My message, my content, whatever I'm saying goes all over the place. We've been doing this for ages, and it's really cool because most of you guys don't have all day to futz around on Facebook and Twitter. Most of you guys don't have all day to sit on YouTube. You're working full-time jobs, you're taking care of families, you're like me, you got kids, you got stuff, you got to shovel the driveway, and you're trying to build a part-time income. So the question I have for you is, do you really have the time to sit and play on all this stuff, or do you need a place where you can learn what's coming up so you can be first on the field? Last thing I want to show you guys is Ning.com, the Ning networks. They're very, very popular right now. Everybody jumps around. It's spam central. Everybody gets on all the Ning networks and sends out all their offers for the hot new deal of the week. My gosh, did I get a lot of goofy email over the last 2 weeks about the hot new deal on the internet. And I want you guys to see, I don't have the original email when I set it up, but my site, myprivateclassroom.com or myprivateclassroom.ning.com. Guys, this was when I was promoting it out to one of my colleagues. At January 14th, 2008, we've been using the Ning network for over a year. So, like I said, it has to, it has to make you stop and think, and it really does make me giggle when folks out there are telling you about what's new for 2009. Don't ask what's new for 2009, guys. Ask what's new for 2010 and get there by the middle of 2008. That's the way you have a shot. I'm talking to all my brothers and sisters out there that are not fancy-dancy internet people. I'm talking to people like me. And if you're a fancy-dancy internet guy, you don't need me. You don't need this. You don't need my private classroom. You don't need to run with us because you already know all this stuff. And there's tons of you out there. God bless you. You guys are awesome. You offer great training. You offer, tutorials and stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are my colleagues. I'm talking to those of you that are looking for an edge. You're looking for a leg up. And you're really frustrated because every time you figure something out, it's like the ship left without you. This is why. Because you're not looking out to what's coming. You're looking at what's happening right now. And it's the type of person that was still wearing bell bottoms in the 80s after the 70s passed, who is still wearing leg warmers in the 90s after it all passed. It's called a trend. And if you're training on trends, you're always going to be left behind. You want to look at, what is forever. Wisdom, psychology, understanding the way people move and why they move. You'll never stumble on a social media site again if you understand how people think. New site shows up, you know how to use it instantly because it's just common sense. That never changes. This technology is going to change constantly. And trying to keep up is, in my opinion, it's just foolish because you can't. You can't keep up. It moves faster than the speed of light. What you can do is learn about humans and then apply the wisdom that you have into any site and you will score. Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.